Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to also be back to my channel. I am going to show you the last 6 months in my planner. I know one of the last videos that I was making, I was showing you like week by week, maybe a plan with me or weekly flip through. I don't know. It's honestly been so long, and I'm just gonna do a little refresh. This is really the only planner that I've been using is my Hobonichi weeks. I've kind of been like putzing around with this thing a little bit. I keep trying to like write stuff back into my commit 30, but it's all really just like kind of becoming trial and error. This is the one planner that has just been time and time again just working for me so well. And it's so gross right now. Actually, I probably should have wiped it before this video, Taylor. It's getting used so much. It's getting used so much, and there's like no stopping me in this thing. I've gotten back to, you know, the groove and my system, and I'm feeling really good into it. And yeah, so instead of like, I thought about like, oh, well, how am I gonna jump back in to YouTube and show you, like, I'm not gonna film week by week. And then I was like, I'm not gonna film like month by month. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna film. We're in June. We're gonna end at the end, but I'm gonna show you like the first like 6-ish months, obviously, in my planner. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take my watch off because my work keeps like blowing me up, and I don't want all those text messages everywhere. But okay, so this is still the Hobonichi Weeks Mega. I'm still using my black Moturn cover that I was graciously gifted. I've been using it, if you're watching and you know, I've been using it literally every day since you had sent it to me. So I haven't used a Moturn cover ever long enough to realize that the leather changes. I'm actually like really not a leather connoisseur, so I'm assuming this is like real leather. I don't know. It says genuine leather, I think, but I just never thought that these would like really soften up and feel any different. I've only ever really been used to like the Giulios, getting like patinaed and stuff like that. So I didn't ever think that something like this would really soften up, and not that it was like super sturdy to begin with, but it's really just like you could see it's like starting to like curve towards my planner, and it's in and out and in and out of my purse so often that it's just really, it's very moldable. It's becoming very moldable. So still inside of that. I don't even remember the last time that I showed my planner cover. I think I probably just had like stickers or something hanging out in the front of it. So I just took all of it was actually on the inside of this little cover, and I took everything outside of that and I just kind of made it here. So maybe soon I'll update those photos. I honestly haven't even printed photos in so long. I think it really goes back to I lost my cords. I was like SOL. And so whatever. So the puppy, she does not look like that anymore. She was like a little toy stuffed animal then, but she is a big girl now. So everything is really the same. I feel like all of the side pockets, I'm such a creature of habit. You know this. If you watch my videos for a long time, I'm such a creature of habit that like I just get FOMO of my own system. So like if I were to change this sometimes, I feel like I would have such FOMO that I would just change it back in like 2 days. So that's all still the same. I'm also like very much so the same way I've done this with like commit 30s. I put a sticky note down or clip something to the front that I no longer need ever, but I just keep it because I get so used to the way it looks. It's just a weird thing about me. And so obviously none of this still applies to me. This was all in January and February of the year. So it doesn't apply anymore, but I just keep it there because why not? So I need to go back and honestly update this. I really do like the way that I was using it. I just haven't kept up with running consistently. We're going to start training for another half marathon. We ran one last October towards the end, and we were going to start training for a full marathon, but I just don't think we're ready for that yet. So I think we're going to try and beat some time off of our previous half marathon time. So hopefully these next like 2 to 4 months, you'll start to really see me use this part more. This was just a wish list that I was going to start adding up. I kind of have fallen in and out of reading, and ever since I read Onyx Storm, however many months ago, I've had a really hard time getting into more books again. And which is a good and bad thing, because I've been reading my Bible a lot, and I've really been enjoying, like actually enjoying and craving to read my Bible. So that's a good part. But I sometimes just want to like shut my mind off without just like running to Instagram, because I'm like starting to find myself just like droning out my mind with Instagram again, and I don't want to do that, because then I start like deleting it for months at a time. So I wanted to look into possibly a new Nintendo game. I haven't done anything on my Nintendo in a long time. So my dogs are about to start fighting. Stop it. And maybe try and find a new series to read, but we'll see. That's also only because I do have a work trip coming up soon, and I'm going to have a lot of time in the evenings when I'm not doing work-related things, and I wanted just something to like occupy myself with. So obviously we all know that the Hobonichi weeks starts with December, so a lot of this is just chaos. I never really used any kits or anything in here. As far as the monthlies go, I just find the stickers or like little pieces of little samplers and stuff and kind of piecemeal it all together. But I will use my monthlies a lot of like the same way all of the time. I always will put like, not a running to-do list, but maybe just, I don't know what you want to call this, like a big ideas list, kind of. Like it's not anything, I need to really take action on, but it's just stuff that like, if I'm constantly like going to my phone to find the answer to, or like I need to constantly keep looking at for, I don't know, whatever reason, then I'll put it there for that month. So I know that was like a big idea of that month, if that makes sense. And then I will put some little to-do items down here for like a monthly task list or whatever you want to call it. I was putting different things in here as far as like when the dog started medicines or something like that, but I did try and find space in the back to put track that kind of stuff too. So I'm never great with trackers. I am trying to become better at them, just so I can like not for the purpose of like, I don't know how to say it, not for the purpose of looking at it each and every day, but in those instances where I'm like, I was just thinking this morning, like, when did I last buy dog food? So now I have to go back here and go through every single 2 weeks paycheck for my little like register log of money that was taken on my account, my only little check register I make, and find when it was charged from like the Chewy account. And it'd just be nice to put those things other places. So I'm always trying to do that though. Anyways, long ramble, but that is what December looks like. We still did a lot in December. My kids stuck it out in the cold months. We'll see a lot of horseback riding every single week. You'll see a lot of like snow days, a lot of school stuff. My daughter started her ABA services within the year, so that's been working out really well. And it's also just been one extra thing in the week. My husband is the one that usually gets to take her, just because he's the one that's a stay-at-home dad. So you'll see a lot of those on there, a lot of bingo nights, a lot of just like work-related things. I've stopped really putting my work schedules in there. Some days you'll see it just a little bit if it's something that like was a little out of the normal, but typically I'm not putting my work schedule in here because my work schedule kind of fluctuates a lot based on what I'm doing in that season of work, I should call it. And it's just easier to like put them week by week in my weeks section if I needed to, if it's not something I could like quickly know off the top of my head, you know. So again, big things on the side. And then here's February. I think I kind of fell in and out of my planner a lot in February. I feel like a lot of this was kind of pre-planned and then back planned. And then and then here's March. Maybe I didn't use it a lot in March. I just was very blank with it, which is totally fine. Not a big deal. And then April. April I was definitely not using this planner. It looks like my life was just so easy in April. And then here we go, May. I was really using it. I was loving my Hobonichi again by May. So you'll see when I start flipping through some of the weeks, some of them look a little bit blank, some of them are completely blank, and then some of them are just a little bit of backfilled, so that's why they appear to be a little blank. I'm sure somewhere in here you'll see that. Maybe not. I don't know. My memory is crap these days. But here's May. I'm really liking the way that May turned out. It's just fun. It's bright. It's bright, not Sprite. It's bright, it's pink, it's springy, and it was busy. May, having 3 kids now in school, and they all go to the same school, I feel like I've never felt more burnt out in a month than realizing how much stuff was packed into the May month. It felt like between work and school, and then my daughter's appointments, horseback riding, dance, I was like never getting around turn on anything. Or we were just like all over the place all the time. So May was busy between field trips and just a lot of school stuff. And then May is when they do a lot of like the school testing and everything. So crazy. But yeah, here's June. June is pretty smooth sailing, if you wish. Right now, my weeks right now I feel like are a little busy just because I am in like a thicker season of work. So that's why this kind of looks a little blanker, because I'm really falling into what I need to do pretty much just day by day to fill the week. You know what I'm saying? So that's really it. That's for my first 6 months of the year, plus I guess the bonus month of December, if you want to call it that. And yeah, I have just like little sticky notes and things planned out for some of the later months, really up until September, like so the summer months. We are in school pretty late into June, to be honest, and then we don't start school until September. So we have really all of July, all of August, and then just a little bit of September to call our like school break or summer break. So I have nothing, I can't think this far out for November and December. And then again, the bonus months that you get, I'll probably honestly just take these and use these and put lists or like glue sheets down at some point to like cover those up to make it like functional of some sort. But that was honestly just an idea I thought of right here now on the fly. And it sounds like a good idea, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I just don't know what I'm going to put there yet. I could also just like put photos or something like that. That would be kind of cute. But anyways, let's go through. We're going to go through the first 6 months, so I'm going to not do any of these. Plus, I think like I had showed you all a lot up until like the 3rd or the 4th week anyway. So maybe this will be like the only 2 weeks that look the same as to something maybe you've already seen. I don't remember. I wasn't going to go back and like watch my videos, to be quite honest. So buckle up for the ride real quick. I'm going to try and speed through this within the next like 10 minutes. I'm looking at the time now. Within the next 10 minutes. So we'll do 6 months in 10 minutes. So here is January. I was using a little bit of a sticker kit. I purchased a ton of these Planner Monkey Co. sticker kits, and I really just like piece them together. A lot of them share similar color schemes. So like these ones share the same color schemes pretty much. And then even if you like mix, like this is kind of like a hybrid of those ones, and then this is just, all of the colors really look very similar. And I've just been having a lot of fun piecing together different kits for the weeks. So you'll see a lot of kit use, but it's not like full kit mode, if that makes sense. You'll see, whatever. So here's January. I love this. What is this called? Like buffalo check or buffalo plaid, something like that. I love that so much. And then I had a ton of these little stickers. I still have them right here. My mom had like gotten me a ton of them for Christmas. She got me 2 packs of the same ones, and each pack has 100 stickers in it. So I have 200 of like the same stickers, and I was just having fun kind of picking and plopping and putting them in wherever. So if you see bookish related stickers, those all came from my mom, and it's probably from like Temu or Shein or something like that. I don't know. So January, here we go. I just used a little to-do list over here, and then I really do like to try and track meals. That's something that I always had growing up when I was younger. Like we always had sit-down meals at the table, and it's something that I value a lot for my family as well. But with work, and sometimes I work like long night shifts, so I'm not home at that time. So I really do just try and track what we eat, because it helps me know exactly how many times a week we've eaten out, how many times a week we've like sat down together as a family. So every time that I can at least look at this and I can see like, oh, okay, we had this, then I know that those were days that we sat down as a family at the table. Whereas if like you'll see on some other days, you'll see like leftovers or like a whatever night, I usually call it. And that's where we just kind of like snack our way through dinner, or obviously we all know what leftovers are, but like to me a whatever night is like I just put like a snack tray together and put like veggies and fruit and cucumbers and like just, that's obviously a veggie, but you know what I'm trying to say. Just like a charcuterie type thing, and we just kind of like snack on it while we're all either playing outside or bebopping around the house, who knows, or we're out on the road because we're at dance or horseback riding or whatever the case is. So I think I've spent enough time of you just staring at this page. Here is the next week, which is conveniently like one of the last full weeks of January. I am looking right now. I could tell that I used this pen. So if you ever wonder what pens I'm using, it's usually either this Pentel Energel 0.3, which is like super, super fine. And that's what this is right here. And then the other pen that I'm constantly using is this one. So whenever I buy pens, I used to, I was like looking back at my Instagram a few days ago, and I used to have so much fun like just dragging and dropping things into my JetPens shopping cart account or whatever you want to call it, and trying out tons of different pens. And then I kind of just started spending like 10 to 15 bucks and buying bulk in just these ones because I really know that I like these ones a lot. So, this is the last one I really have of like my JetPens era. I had gotten this. And again, you'll see a running theme. It's also a 0.3. And this one's really, really nice too. I do like this. It's very fine nib as well. I honestly, actually, now thinking about it, couldn't tell the difference. I think if I was like writing with this one or if I was writing with this one. This almost looks like it's just a little bit more dull than that, but not by much. So they all, I want to say almost like they all highlight the same way, but it also just depends. Oh, it looks like a ballpoint pen. It also just depends what type of highlighter I'm using. I feel like I noticed that a lot more with the Hobonichi paper, is that it doesn't really matter what pen I'm using. It almost matters more like what highlighter I'm using, because I've noticed, even, I'm just going to kind of talk and flip at the same time. I've noticed kind of like a big difference between using highlighters, even of the same brand. So if I have like I have some of these, oh geez, it's a mess, right? I have some of these, like these Sharpie S-Note Duos, and those will even highlight different than just a Sharpie highlighter. And to me, I would think like, oh, they're the same brand. I feel like they should highlight particularly similar, but I feel like they don't. And that's like, again, I feel like I could use any type of pen, but like the highlighter is what makes the difference to me, if that makes sense. In my brain, it kind of does. Anyways, I really remembered liking this week a lot, but I also feel like I just put big things that were happening those days, and then I feel like I just went back and wrote stuff in because it almost looks like too neat. You could tell the weeks that I'm like really using my planner, they don't look very neat, and this feels very clean to me. So it also looks very cute though. I do like the way it looks. I remember liking particularly how much this week looked. And moving on, I think these are so cute. They're like little Beauty and the Beast washi tapes. Again, they're just from like one of her Planner Monkey Co. kits. And then you'll see some weeks I do like to use this little side quest bar a lot as far as making space for putting meals. But I think that I shot off the hip a little too fast because I started putting it on one side and then finished up on the other, and then was like, this is awkward. Now I have this big line. So whatever. It is what it is. That's what planning's all about. It's not supposed to be super pretty. I do like this week a lot too, just because I try and be colorful. I do like when it's like filled with color and everything's kind of bright and all over the place. So I have tried to make a point to use some more different types of markers and pens and highlighters and whatever you want to say. So I got these, whether I got them or I got them for my kids, for them to like color those little fine line coloring books, who is to say. But I have this, and so I only have a few here. So either I took them from my kids or my kids took them from me. So a lot of the times where you see some of this type of, that's probably more Muji, but if you see some type of like this one, those are those little markers. And they're not bad. They're not bad. They don't bleed through really either, which is nice. So feeling real burnt out, it looks like, this week, but I was also coming up on a really busy week at work. I was in the thick of going into all of my master's coursework, which was a lot, while I was also in like a thick part of work, but we got it done. We got it done. Spirit weeks happened. I do particularly like this type of setup where you kind of cut it right down the center. I feel like if I do it, there's like two different dots, right? There's like this one, and then there's that one. So you can either like give yourself a big side and a small side, or vice versa. But I do kind of find the value of just swapping it right down the center and trying to put to-dos on one side, and then like big tasks or big things that happen, big events on the other side. I do like that a lot. It doesn't work for me every single week, and not every week do I like prepare myself to do it like that, but I do like the way it looks. It gives me a chance because I see the dots, so I always want to put something, even if it's something as small as, I don't know, you'll see like some of these things are just really silly that I'll put in here sometimes, like we all do. We just write things down so we can have a chance to cross them off. I did on this side too start writing. I do remember feeling like a little overwhelmed with how little space I had on this side. I think at this point in time I was using my Commit 30 kind of heavily as well, so I was trying to use both again just to kind of get back in the groove of planning and really enjoying planning other than just writing things down all the time. I was kind of trying to find that creative outlet a lot because, again, I was just like swamped at work and I just needed to feel like a little bit of Taylor. And so I didn't want to use a whole page in the back when I just had like little memories to write down. So if there was a day that something particularly fun or like cutesy happened with my kids or my husband, then I just made space on the side to write something. And I did really like doing that. You'll see I do that a couple of other times in here as well. And it worked out pretty well. This week was just a lot of white space. I was off work for the whole week, so just a lot of relaxing and getting back to normalcy, it felt like. This week was a lot. I was back in like a prep stage of work, so it was a lot of blank and open time, but I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know what really. I can't say anything about this week, to be honest. And here we go back into the chaos of everything. I do like the way this looked over here. I had stuck that down because I wanted to like write something. But then I was like, I don't need to find something to write in this whole entire circle. And then I kind of made it its own little, I kind of used it as decoration, I guess, to be honest. And I really do like the way that it looked. It turned out very cutesy. And then I fell back. I do remember falling back out of my planner at this point. Maybe it was just because I didn't like the way that the week had turned out. I don't know. I fell out of using this planner a lot at this point, though. Same thing with this week. I really, really fell out of it. And then you'll see I kind of got back into it again here. So I started really having fun with it again. And using it kind of day in, day out, writing things down. And then this week is like when it opened up again. So I would say probably from this week forward, I've been you'll see the weeks start to look a lot different than they did earlier in the year, just because I've really been using it and not really using, like I said, barely anything else. I did just last week try and start using this a little bit, but I'm not gonna like start showing all that in this video. So here we go. Here is April. My daughters were on spring break. I unfortunately was not on spring break. So they had a lot of fun time home. And then in the times that I was home with them, I tried to, there was things I wrote down. My husband got poison ivy again. Things like that. If it's medical, I do put it back here in like my medical log in the back as well. And then I always need a space just for to-do lists. Sometimes I'll take those to-dos and I'll even like mash them back over on the side. So sometimes you'll see the same thing written multiple times, and that's just because here it's like a sticky note reminder, and here it's like, Taylor, do this today or else. Do it or else. So that's why you see things doubled up like that at times. I love the way this looked. I found this cute little sticker book on Amazon, and I just used like little pieces and parts of it with some of my other stickers that I had. And I really, really, really like the way that this week turned out. I don't know if it was the pen I used. I don't know if I was just vibing, if it was the colors. Maybe like this purplish blue is my spirit animal color. I have no idea. But it was really, really cute. And then I went for bright colors this next week. Teacher Appreciation Week. And, it was my birthday week, Mother's Day week, and it was just, overall, I remember it being a lot of fun week. I started reading 2 new books, Great Big Beautiful Life, which I finished. I think I gave it 3 stars. I didn't really honestly I thought it had a really cool concept, but it just wasn't what I was, hoping for at the time, I guess. I don't know. It had a really cool concept, though. I think if it would have, the romance part would have, I don't know. The concept was cool because it was a book within a book. So that was really cool, but I just feel like the romance fell really short. I don't know. It was a side quest story, but I was really into this other bigger story of the book within a book. So it was just different. This was an audiobook and I have not actually continued reading it. I remember it was about a vet on some vacation spot, on the Jersey Shore or something. I don't know. And it seemed good. I just haven't been into my audiobook for a while, so there went that. And then this was a week that I went to Ohio this week for a little bit. I bought plants with my mom. We refinanced my car. I got scammed on Instagram. I had to get a new debit card. It was a heck of a week. And then this was I was going to say just last week, but it's not. Then this was the following week. Again, you'll see a lot of these different markers are all of these 0.5 nib markers. They're true markers. And then moving on, I like the way this week turned out. I just put these big stickers here because I never knew what I was ever going to use them for. And I was I'm just going to put them down and whatever works, works. So I was I could either have used it for a highlight of the day, or I could have used it for whatever. And so what I did was just put out big tasks. And we're all planners. We all know we can write a lot. So instead of just writing Penny War Game, I wrote down and really scripted out every little part of that task. So start collecting camping supplies for summer supplies, for s'mores and paper plates and all that. And I just tried to really romanticize my to-do list on this side. And then life was obviously really busy over here. It was just, we ate barely at the dinner table at all that week. We went out to a Chinese buffet. We had ice cream for dinner. We went to no, that's not even my address, so whatever. If you see it, you see it. It's not my address anymore. Moving on to this week. I tried to go back to my purple roots because I really loved that one week, but it was just a little bit different. My daughter, she got these cute little Sticky Club bracelets. So these come from bracelets and they roll up stickers and you peel off the sticker, which is really cool. So we had that. My daughter had a busy week, to say the least. We had dress rehearsal, dance recital. It was so busy. On top of work, on top of so many things. So it was crazy. My one daughter got rushed to the ER because my husband shut the bathroom door and he didn't realize her finger was there, so she got her finger caught in the door. And my other daughter was sent home because they thought she might have had strep, so she also went not to the ER but the urgent care. I went to medical just the Sunday prior so I could get antibiotics because I had this sinus infection thing going on. It was a weird week. We were just surviving. And then back to this week. I feel like this video is long enough, so I'm not going to show you all of my notes pages. Maybe I'll do that in a separate video, but for now, this is my half year, 6-month flip through of my Hobonichi, and I'm thankful that you guys made it to the end, and I appreciate you all, and I will see you in one of my next videos. Bye, friends.